Hello, this is Jer with another episode of me playing Oxygen Not Included, and today I've got a project of teleportation. I want to send two duplicates over to the other asteroid that I have access with to teleportation. I'm going to choose Miner, and the reason for that is I tend to always pick a duplicate that has strong digging skills, since they're going to do a lot of digging when they first get there. I gave them a research ability and some extra building points. I'm worried about them having too much skills, because the more skills they have, the more they demand in terms of a life of duplicants luxury. And when I send them over to the other asteroid, I'm not going to be able to provide much for them. So if that happens, they start to get stressed out, and eventually will enable their stressed out behavior. So I'm going to dumbify them with this machine. This essentially is going to take away all the skill points that I've assigned. I can reassign them, and that's what I'm going to do, but I'm just going to reassign 1 point. They'll have a single digging ability, and then once I start to get over the other world and I'm going to be able to provide some of the luxuries or increase their morale, I'll be able to bring their skill level back. I'm only going to have one duplicate, at least initially, in this new asteroid. I'm going to have to assign a number of tasks for my duplicates to do, otherwise they're going to sit idle. So I'm going to construct a solar array. In addition to a machine to be able to teleport my duplicates back and forth, I can also send material back and forth using the teleport transmitter and receiver. But I've got to activate those. Right now, the scientist is the only one that has field research to be able to activate that. So I'm going to select my two machines. I've already dug out a path to them in the past, so scientists will be able to quickly walk to both of these and enable them. Now, they need to be enabled on both sides. So I'm going to enable both these machines in this world. Eventually, I'm going to send scientists or someone who has field research enable it on the other side. Miner skills have been scrubbed. I'm going to reassign them 1 point of digging, because they're going to do a lot of digging when they get over this world. And I'm not going to assign any more skills until I can set up the infrastructure to up their morale in the new world that they're going to. The time of cycle that you're going to send your first duplicate over is going to be important. You're going to want to send them at the beginning of their work schedule. And the reason for that is you want them to be able to land in this new asteroid with a full work day in front of them to be able to construct things like an outhouse and a cot on the other side. So it is now morning. I'm going to select my duplicate that I want to send over. It's going to show you a destination that this is going to. Actually happy about this. I like it when this world is far away from my home world, because you get teleportation distance that's much greater. That's not going to be useful until much later in the game, so let's not be too concerned at this point. But anyways, I'm then going to go select Miner. So they're going to go run up to this thing. It's a pretty high priority task for them, so it shouldn't take too long. Remember to click it again, because this is a two-step process. You've got to select them, then you've got to hit teleport. If you don't, they'll stay stuck there. They could starve. They're idly doing nothing. It's a two-step process. Do not forget to do that. Alright, this guy has just arrived. And what are the two things that I'm going to do? I'm going to build a cot and an outhouse. So let's go about that. My duplicate has just landed, and I don't have any materials to build anything. So I'm finding some local materials. I want two main things. I want a piece of dirt. That's going to be needed as the input to the outhouse. And I just need some sort of material. In this case, it's sediment rock. That'll do just fine. I can use sediment rock to build an outhouse. I can use it to build a cot. Those are the two things that I want to be able to have. And if I put those into the world, I'm happy. At this point, I can start exploring. So I'm going to build a ladder, going to go up and down, and I have a goal of setting up some core buildings and rooms that are going to give my duplicate a morale bonus. So let's go a little bit faster through this, because this is the same thing that I've done in many of the other episodes earlier. First room I'm going to build is a great hall. I already have the technology for this, so I might as well take advantage of that. It's a pretty easy build. I just need a mess table, some decoration, and the water cooler. And once I have that, I'm automatically going to get a 6-point morale bonus. So digging out the space for that, I'm going to put in a door in front of it, all the necessary buildings, and then I automatically get that 6 points. Alright, so I'm continuing on digging out a spot for more rooms. I'm going to put a place for a nature reserve. I'm going to find 4 wild plants. I'm going to make sure the space in there is not too big. And I want to force my duplicants to go between this and another room. In this case, I'm going to move my barracks down and make them go in there. I'm going to put a ladder in between this room because if you have a space, you're going to get your duplicants jumping over. So I don't want to do that. Don't forget to go in your other world and continue to give your other duplicants tasks so they don't stay idle. So I'm going to add a battery with a generator. Make sure to put the battery in first. I'm carving out a spot to build showers and a washroom. The reason is I do not want the outhouse to be staying around too long. Connecting power and pipes up to a pump that has access to water. And another pump at the bottom of the base has access to polluted water. That second one, the polluted water, I'm going to use for food later. So, again, don't forget to, I'm wanting to complete a solar array in the other world, so I'll keep going back to assign them tasks. Once I've got that, I'm continuing on with my washroom. That's going to have both the sink and the lavatory. So I'm just having a way for me to be able to get my duplicants to continue on to the other side of the solar array. One note to watch out for in this world is the mud tiles will erode away. Any tile that's going to erode away, just build it as a tile as early on as possible so you don't lose some of these rooms. So now that I have a few rooms that's going to give me a morale bonus, I'm thinking about food. Growing some bog buckets here, I need to input polluted water. And I want the polluted water that comes from the toilets to be prioritized into that system. I used a liquid bridge to do that, so I may explain that further in another episode. Setting up a mini printing pod, that way if I find something that I can print that's very useful for this world, I can just bring it right in. Continuing on with my solar array in the other world, keep those guys busy while you explore and build in this world. Just measuring my Great Hall, making sure it's 32 tiles big, storing a place for food. So this world has a lot of mud that's producing polluted oxygen, therefore I'm not worried about oxygen early on. I'm going to have to address that in a future project, but at this time I'm just worried about buildings and rooms that up my morale, the ability to grow and store food. And once I have that, I'm in a good state. One final note before I go, I'm setting this up as a temporary base. I don't plan to keep my duplicants here. I want to mine out all the resources and send it back to the homeworld. You may have a different strategy, completely fine, but I just wanted to mention what I plan to do. So I think that's going to do for now. I hope to see you in a future episode where we can keep expanding.